You have been using AI as a question answering machine. You type something in, it types something back. That is a chatbot. An agent is fundamentally different. Here is the difference. You tell a chatbot to research the top 5 cloud AI providers, compare pricing, and write a report. It gives you a decent answer based on what it already knows, which might be 6 months out of date. You tell an agent the same thing. It searches the web. It reads the actual pricing pages. It synthesizes what it found. It writes the file. 20 minutes later, the report exists. You did not do any of those steps. The agent decided each one. That shift, from AI that answers to AI that acts, is what agentic AI means. Every agent runs on a 4-step loop. Perceive, what is the goal and what information do I have right now? Think, what is the best next action? Act, call a tool, search the web, run some code, write a file. Observe, did that work? What did I learn? Then back to the start. Perceive, think, act, observe, repeating until the task is complete. That loop is the intelligence. That loop is what makes it an agent. Every agent is built from 4 things. The LLM, Claude, GPT-4, or Gemini, is the brain. It does the reasoning, decides what to do next and why. The tools are the hands: web search, code execution, API calls, file access. The LLM decides which tool to use and what to give it. Memory holds what has happened so far, short-term in this session, long-term in a database across sessions. And planning breaks complex goals into subtasks, executes them in order, and adjusts when something fails. When an agent needs information, it calls the search tool. When it needs to run code, it calls the code executor. When it needs to store a result, it writes a file. Each of those is a deliberate decision the LLM made, not a random action. The quality of those decisions is what separates a useful agent from a useless one. 3 workflows that are already running in production. A research agent takes a topic, searches the web, reads the top results, synthesizes the key information, and writes a structured report. No human steps between goal and output. A QA agent takes a user story, generates test cases, writes the automation code, runs the tests in a CI environment, and produces a coverage report with gaps flagged. Story in, test report out. And a code agent. This is what Claude Code does. Reads your codebase, writes code, runs it, reads the error if it fails, thinks about what went wrong, tries again, and when the tests pass, it opens a pull request. That is not autocomplete. That is autonomous software development within guardrails you set. Multi-agent systems go further. Instead of one agent doing everything, specialized agents collaborate. A planner breaks down the goal. A researcher gathers the information. A writer drafts the output. A reviewer checks the quality. Each agent is reliable at one narrow task. Together they handle complexity no single agent could manage. 3 frameworks worth knowing. LangChain is the most widely used. It gives you building blocks for connecting language models to tools and memory. CrewAI lets you define multiple agents with roles and have them collaborate. AutoGen from Microsoft has agents debate and verify each other's work. And you can build agents directly through the Anthropic API using Claude's native tool use. Simpler, cleaner, best for straightforward cases. The decision rule is simple. Use a prompt when the task is one step with no external data needed. Use an agent when completing the task requires multiple sequential decisions where each step depends on the result of the previous one. If a human doing the task would need to make more than 2 decisions in a row, it is probably worth building an agent. Agentic AI is not a future concept. Claude Code is in production. GitHub Copilot Workspace is shipping. Enterprise teams are running AutoGen agents for customer support, data analysis, and internal tooling. The loop, perceive, think, act, observe, is already running millions of times a day. The engineers who understand how it works are the ones building the things everyone else will use in 2 years.